got a T-shirt with bloodstains all over it. Maybe laundry isn't your biggest problem right now.
I remember the day the candle shop burned down. Everybody just stood around and sang happy birthday.
And the security guard came over and said, "You're gonna have to move. You're blocking the fire exit." As though if there was a fire, I wasn't gonna run.
You make love to the right woman, Johnny, is beautiful, beautiful. I mean, the last time I made love to my wife, it was ridiculous. Nothing was happening. I looked at her, I said, "What's the matter? Can't you think of anyone either?"
I never learn, you know, like a waitress will bring my meal. "Hey, enjoy your meal, you too!" But you don't have one, do you? I'm a doofus. If you do eat, enjoy it when you eat it. If you have a break or something later, if you get an opportunity, that's all I'm trying to say. That's all that I'm driving at, really.
Hello, welcome to Comedy Think Tanked, a podcast with Leonard Kimble and Nick Gordon, two comedians who know how to take a drink and have a thought. Sit back, get comfortable, and enjoy. Now, whether they're ready or not, here's your hosts, Leonard and Nick.
Welcome to the Comedy Think Tanked podcast. It is I, Nick Gordon, with Leonard Kimble, as always. Hello, Leonard. It's been a while.
Hello, Nicholas. How are you?
I'm quite well. Down here in the basement of CBU.
Yes.
Our comedy club.
We have a huge audience watching us record this time. This is fantastic.
Yay.
If you guys can keep it down, that'd be great, please.
Important business going on here.
Oh, okay. We got the bouncer taking somebody out. That's awesome.
Get him out of here, Sal.
So how have you been?
Not bad. Not bad. Been busy.
It's been like 8 months since we recorded something, it feels like.
It feels like it's been a very long time, and I don't like that. I feel like we should stick to our weekly schedule somehow. But
oh my God, we had a weekly schedule?
It seemed like we did. But
okay. Someone should have told me we had a weekly schedule.
We had a pretty good. We're going on a pretty good clip here in 2021. But recently, you've had a move. You had to move homes. You moved your house. Not the actual one you were living in, but you bought another one and sold one and all that stuff. And, and you also took a trip. So you've been inaccessible. And I'll have to be honest, I've been pretty busy with work myself. Now that I'm back in the office full time.
Yeah.
Quote unquote post pandemic. So it's been hard to get together.
Yeah, it has. I currently am so super cool and rich that I currently own 2 houses.
Good Lord.
And a boat.
And a boat. That's right. The
yeah.
boat. I forgot about the boat.
Yeah,
that excites me.
The guy who sold us the new house said, "Hey, you want a boat?" And I was like, "Sure."
Why the hell?
I hate water. I can't swim. I don't float. I can't stay on the beach. But I was offered a boat.
A boat.
And so there's a boat in my backyard right now. And I'm guessing he just didn't want to,
probably didn't want to tote the boat.
He didn't want to transport this boat out of the backyard because...
boats can be a pain in the butt.
Really?
Was the guy who sold you the house an old man? Like, was he done with the fun stuff of life?
No, I don't think he was that old. I mean, I think he's older than me. I would guess he's like late 50s, early 60s.
That's not.
No.
Late 50s, early 60s... especially for us guys, like that's the perfect time for a boat.
Yeah,
that's when I'm gonna buy my first boat.
Oh, okay.
In my early 60s.
Really, you want my boat? You can have my boat.
I will take your boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although I think my wife might have already promised it to somebody, or at least promised use of the boat.
Since she doesn't listen to the podcast, I can say this full-throatedly. That fucking son of a.
Wait a minute,
no, I'm just.
Are you telling me that? Wait, this is a shock. You're telling me my wife doesn't listen to my podcast?
Last I heard, Jen. What are you drinking, Leonard?
Jeez, I forgot what I'm drinking. I think it's not Fire Stack.
No, that's what I got.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll look it up later.
That's all right.
It's an IPA.
It's not. I was just looking for a transition.
Oh, okay.
Bad mouthing your wife.
Yeah. Don't do that.
To this. Yeah, that's not nice at all.
I'm finally going to get her to listen, and she's going to be like, Nick,
so listen.
That son of a bitch, Nick.
Yeah. I don't like, you're not hanging out with him anymore.
No.
I don't like him. So forget the house and forget the boat.
Sure.
I'm more interested in the fact that you went to Chicago for a week and was able to perform comedy at multiple venues.
Yeah, multiple venues
in the great city of Chicago.
like a total, like a huge number of like almost three.
Almost three, but
three
still
venues
in downtown, the city of Chicago.
Yeah, it was
a mecca for comedy.
Apparently so, and there's a ton of people doing comedy in Chicago.
All right, so then I'll ask that as the first question. You say there's a ton of people, but there's millions of people who live in Chicago.
Yeah, according to Wikipedia, yes.
Who lives here?
Yeah.
So is it that there's a ton of people, or is it just proportionally the same amount of people who live in Chicago, do comedy in Chicago, as here in Maine? And
oh,
you know
well, I have no idea. I mean, I guess maybe. It's like I went to that open mic at the Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
And someone told me to get there at get in line at 6 or maybe something like that. And and then I said, okay, well, and he said, tell somebody that you're from out of town. And I'm like, okay, I'll get there early. I'll get there at 5. And he was like, no, don't get there at 5. Get there at 6. So I got there at 5:45, something like that. Close. And I tried the door, and the door was open. And I'm like, oh, I'll just go in.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, get the hell out. The line's at 6. And I'm like, okay, but someone told me to say I'm from out of town, please. And he's like, no problem. Just tell this guy, whatever, when he shows up that you're from out of town. So I go back outside, and I'm the first one in line. I'm the first
one. 5:45.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So this has got to be good. I'm first one in line. Probably, it actually doesn't matter what order you are in line. For this particular one, no. So second person in line is like this kid, like a 19-year-old,
awesome.
Native Chicagoan, and he's like, I started chatting with him. His name was Josh.
That's okay if you don't remember.
Sure, Josh. We'll say Josh or Joshua.
Yeah.
He's a comedy writing major.
At what non-accredited university?
Yes. So of course I took the time to tease him about this. Yeah. Like, wait a minute, you can major in comedy writing, and like the Professor Higglebottom say that you're funny, Josh. You should continue this or work on that joke a little bit more. Yeah. I know we chatted for a while, but he was a good kid. And he said that if he got on, I'll tell you later about the efforts to actually get on the stage.
Sure.
He said if he got on stage tonight, that would have been the first time he would have done comedy indoors.
Indoors.
Because of the pandemic.
Right.
So apparently he started when he was 18.
Literally months prior to this outing.
Right. So by the time 6 o'clock rolls around, this must be like 30, 35 people in line. Yeah. And then once they start letting people in, and like we start sort of marching into the place and up some stairs, and we're signing our names on these little tickets that we throw into a bucket.
Yeah.
It must be like 60 comics.
So you're in line. It's just comics lined up outside the Laugh Factory at 6 o'clock p.m. In an attempt to get on that night's open mic.
Right. That starts at 9.
3 hours in advance.
Yeah, because I think there was a show at there was a normal showcase show at 7:30.
Okay.
So, but the ordeal of all these comics was putting your name in a bucket and getting called and stuff like that.
Wow.
And apparently, if you didn't get called, you would just take off or whatever.
You would or you'd be part of the audience.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you could, because we were already in the place. So
so the audience for the 7:30 show, how did they get in the building?
Through the same doors,
okay.
But the guy at the door was just like, "Oh, are you a comic? Get in that line. Or you're not a comic? Do you have tickets? Go out in."
Yeah. Wow.
So they call So I finally do find the guy to tell him I'm from out of town. He's like, "Oh yeah, just tell me again or whatever."
Tell me again.
Yeah, you out of town.
How many times did you tell someone you're out of town?
I don't know. I felt weird that I was being kind of obnoxious about it.
Yeah.
But but I guess I had to keep telling someone.
Someone did. Someone had to know.
Yeah.
And who stole your wallet? This guy's from out of town.
Yeah.
Stick him up.
So, funny enough, my name was the first one called, and I was like, "Oh, what are the chances of that?" Yeah, look at me.
From out of town.
Hey guys, wow, this is gonna be cool. So they called 10 names, and those people were on the show that night.
Yeah.
Then they call another 10 names.
Yeah.
And those people on the show the next week.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So
What if you hadn't hit it? Like, what if they had already picked this week's show the week before, and you showed up?
No. They have like 20-something comics on every show.
I get you.
Right. So they're pulling 10 names to go on tonight's show, but they already have
10.
10 to 15 already committed.
Wow.
Yeah, because some of the people who are actually on the showcase stuck around for the open mic.
You did a second set.
Right, and and bumped me further down the list of of the actual open mic.
So the bumping, that doesn't happen here. We don't get bumped off shows. We don't get bumped off open mics. We don't.
No.
So that's a real thing there. Like someone else who's a more well-known comic or a friend of a friend.
Yeah, more like the regulars. Well, I guess I had no idea how famous anybody was who was on any of those open mics. Yeah. But there were people who were at least locally known and recognizable. Yeah. Because I think a couple of times at the open mic I did on the Wednesday, where I was up really fucking late. A few times, so I took a picture of the list. Yeah. And a few times the host was like, "Oh, this person's a regular, blah, 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 blah." And they would say the name, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't see that name on the list." So I'm bumped.
Oh,
Yeah.
So the Laugh Factory, for those who listen who don't know what the Laugh Factory is, that's an iconic stage, iconic background of a stage. And you have, a picture and a video of a set from that locale.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a...
3 whole minutes.
3 whole minutes, but at the same time, did you realize in the moment, kind of where you were standing, or?
No. Not at all. Not at all.
He's a student of comedy, guys. Leonard Kimble, everyone. No.
I'm horrible.
No. Well, that's just it, though. I mean, that might even be better, because you just went up and did your 3 minutes.
Yeah, I did feel nervous, though. I think, maybe, as I was getting ready to go on, I felt nervous, and I could feel myself shaking.
Oh, interesting.
From nerves.
Excitement. Yeah. Excitement.
Sure. Sorry. Excitement. Nervous excitement. And there was from watching the showcase, I could see the red light that went off when people were getting close to their time. Yeah. But then once I got on stage, that red light was right next to a spotlight.
Oh.
And so I couldn't see the red light when it turned on. And so when I was I'm peering up there and I'm squinting my eyes to try to see it, and I noticed the red.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have them play me off, because they played off a few people that went long, and I was like, "Oh, I'm recording this. The last thing I want is to be played off and be
music to come up
and be crying on the way home in the Uber. I can't believe I got played off. Blah, blah, blah. So I noticed the red light, and I was just like, eject. And I just I shortened my last joke just to get to the punchline, and got a little bit of a laugh, and I was like, "Oh, thank you very much." And then there was applause and blah, 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 and laughing, and I'm like, "Yeah," and I'm walking off the stage, hooping and hollering, waving my arms, and just saying "Oh yeah, okay, I did this."
Yeah, I watched it and I liked it, and it was that was pretty cool to see you there on that stage, and I don't know if that's the original Laugh Factory. And I'm horrible too. I know just.
Yeah, you're the worst.
I know just enough to be dangerous. But yeah, no, that was a neat experience. Now, as far as a comedy club, as we sit here in what we consider our comedy club, what did you think? What were your impressions of being in an actual comedy venue?
Oh, well, I guess I liked how things were run by multiple people, first of all.
Yep.
So it's tough when it's just the 3 of us doing things, and we've got things pulling us in different directions, and sometimes only one of us is around to actually run a show or something like that.
Right.
So to see one person wrangling people, and another person telling people to be quiet because of the other show is going on, and other people calling off names, and other people giving people information, and another person telling them where to get in line, and what time the show will start, and where they should sit, all that sort of stuff. It's nice to actually see it actually run well.
Professionally.
Right, professionally, I guess. Yeah, not that we don't run things well, but like run things professionally.
Or have the people involved in order to run things professionally. Like you're going to any sort of, when you go to a sporting event, when you go to, even a minor league sporting event, you got someone taking the tickets, you got someone serving the drinks, you got someone out in the, providing security, you got, all these people throughout the venue or the arena, taking care of each little part of it that produces the overall show, the overall event. It would be, obviously I don't think we need it here, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, not yet. We got to knock down a granite wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Once we knock down a granite wall and we can fit 400 people in here, sure.
Or find an actual location.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting, because I mean, as far as comedy clubs go, I've never been to a really big one, but I've been to a few where obviously there's people who work there and whatnot.
Yeah,
that would be a nice feature to have.
Right.
In our little venues, because we do kind of I'm trying to think of what the phraseology would be, but we're the owners and operators, and also the janitors, and
right,
everything else. So it is a little frustrating.
So the other comedy club I went to on the first night was called the Comedy Shrine, and it's like outside Chicago. And I found all these places, and I was thinking like, oh, okay, it's in Chicago, but no, it's actually in Aurora. Yeah. And I'm thinking like, oh, I don't know, is that close to Chicago?
Isn't that where?
Because I can't remember things.
Isn't that where Wayne is from? Wayne and Garth.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Anyway, sorry.
I'm actually from Chicago and should know these sort of things.
Yeah, I would say, is your favorite movie Wayne's World? And you'd be like, yes, of course it is.
Absolutely it is.
But it's not. It's Blues Brothers.
Speaking of not remembering things, I went to my reunion, and we had this sort of pre-gaming the day before at a bar in Chicago, and there was maybe like 30, 40 of us in this little, down area, first floor area of a bar. I couldn't remember anyone's name.
Really?
I was the worst. There was like a couple people who I knew really closely in high school, but I couldn't remember anyone's name. I'm so bad. And like I walk in, they're like, Leonard! I'm like, oh, fuck. Yay, hey, you.
Oh,
it was like Dan Crone, that joke is like, oh, hey, you.
Hey, brother.
Hey. But I was like, so the two people whose names I knew really, really well, I was just like lean over to them and be like, hey,
who the fuck is this?
Who's that again? And who's that again? And they'd be like, you don't know Bob? And I'm like, I do know them.
Yes.
I just can't remember their name.
I'm just not Facebook friends with them.
Yeah. Well,
and they don't live in Maine.
Actually, I am Facebook friends with probably all of them.
Yeah, sure.
But
you live in Maine and they live not in Maine.
That was not the best excuse, because a lot of people were flying in from out of town also.
I'm trying for you.
Oh, yeah. You're trying to help me out. Okay. People flying in from California or whatever. Yeah. And they're like, oh, Leonard. I'm like, God damn it. I mean, hi.
Do you think, do you think it's because you're on Facebook a lot and you're prolific with the comedy stuff, and do you think they're paying attention to it? Or
I don't know.
Are you just that memorable?
I don't know. Now it sounds arrogant, like you say I'm that memorable.
Well, but I mean, you're a likable guy. But like, were you a big fish in a little pond on campus back in the day, or
no? I was really quiet and shy, and I was on the track team, and like, I might be got. What is looking up and down? Yeah.
Track?
Yeah, track. Yeah. Then they in the circle, the oval.
I see.
I didn't actually do any running though. Yeah. Although I was a weight man, but I did a weight man's relay one time. So I mainly do shot put and discus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing you anyways.
Oh, really? You're teasing me? Okay.
Isn't that what we do on this show?
Yes, that's what we do.
All right. I'm sorry you didn't remember all your friends from high school. That makes me sad. But as you say that, I'm sitting here thinking, like, let me name a few people from my high school.
See?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's hard.
And presented with them face to face. Even people that I am currently friends with on Facebook that I may even converse with. Like, in person, it might be difficult to say, like, oh, that is...
yeah, and one of them was difficult because I kind of remembered his name, but his Facebook name is not his name.
Oh, so yeah.
So like that makes it kind of hard.
Damn it!
And I was leaning over, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's Mike."
It is a little sad that is how we've come to be in this world. That we're talking about the fact that we see them on Facebook, and that's the only way we can recognize someone who really it's only been a couple decades since actually having them be a major part of your life.
Yeah, I tried to Facebook stalk
depressing.
a few of them before the actual get together, but yeah, it's only so much I can do.
Well, you know what's good is the fact that this is a comedy podcast. We don't have to worry too much about old friends. What was the second place you went, or what was the order of places?
So the first place I went to was a Comedy Shrine.
Comedy Shrine,
and that was in Aurora.
Yeah.
That was good. I had a fun time there.
Yeah.
One of my high school classmates came out and brought a friend with him.
Nice.
And watched me on stage. So I did my stuff. He recorded some of it, took some pictures.
Yeah.
I got a few laughs. It was great. So they had 2 rooms there. The second room was improv, and I know how much you love improv.
Yep.
And I thought I was asking okay, how do I sign up for improv at the same time? And they were like, improv goes at the same time. So
you got to choose.
Yeah. Apparently, I had to get off stage of the stand-up and run over there and do improv.
Yeah.
And I felt weird about walking out of the room. I hate leaving open mics. I hate not watching the show.
Yeah, that's
So
a respect thing.
Yeah. So I stuck around and watched till the end of the stand-up and then went over to the improv, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, we're all done." And I'm like, "Oh, whatever. Yes, Ann." When you're not on stage and like that, I was like, "Oh, no, that wasn't me.
Wasn't me. Partner.
That wasn't me." So that was the first night. It was fun. It was a long drive.
Yeah.
But buddy Charlie from high school came out. And then the next night was Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
And that was a fantastic night.
Yeah.
Even though I was all stressed out about getting there early and telling people I was from out of town.
Right.
The third night was Cole's Bar. And I spent the sign was 8 or whatever. At 6, I was across the street having a beer. And then my cousin joined me.
Yeah.
And had a beer and a little bit of a dinner there. And then at 8, I was like, okay, I'll go across the street now. And it was all a huge line there.
Oh, boy. Should have got there early.
I should have gotten there early, yeah. And so by the time I got up to the front of the line, everyone's signing their name. It's like a list with 1 through 40 or something like that. I was number 36 out of 38. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
That's not good.
Yeah, we're going to be here for a while. So my cousin was there. Another classmate joined me there. And 2 classmates actually joined me.
Nice.
And one of them left because, maybe 20 minutes before I actually got on stage. But
couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, she couldn't. Yeah. She said, I got to go. But it was it must have been 12:30, 1 o'clock when she left.
Central Time.
Yeah, Central. Oh, yeah, Central Time. So, yeah. In her defense, it was Central Time.
That's right.
So yeah, I didn't even get on stage until 1 o'clock in the morning, and they had made an announcement. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's getting late. We were doing 4-minute sets. Now everyone's 3 minutes. So I was like, God damn it!
Just shotgunning comics. Just
yeah, right. So it was 1:30, walking back to my car that I rented, and
that's brutal. We don't have to endure anything like that here. How'd you feel you did that night, that late at night? I mean, knowing you and
still did well.
Yeah.
I mean, I was tired, but you get a little adrenaline boost when you're actually on stage, and I'm thinking okay, well, I can't do those 6 jokes I was gonna do. I gotta do these 5 jokes, and I gotta cut that joke in half, and I gotta. I don't want them lighting me now, and I'm like, oh God,
you don't want to be that guy.
I don't want to be that guy, and I'm trying to be respectful of people's stage and their time, because I wasn't even still the last. I still wasn't the last person.
No,
there was 5 or 10 comics after me still.
Crazy.
And I stuck around for the whole damn thing, and I'm like, okay, this.
Well, I applaud you for doing that.
That's
you're a good steward of the art of comedy.
I was most definitely the oldest one there.
Were you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like you could tell you were the oldest?
I could tell, yeah.
It was obvious. There was no one that's like, it could be my age.
No one got up there talking about their back hurting and like that. No.
They're all talking about eating ass or something.
No. Yeah, it was bad. I think if I did it again, I probably would have pulled the old man card. Played the old man card on somebody. Like, I gotta get up in the morning. I gotta
work tomorrow.
I'm from out of town. I left my walker in the car. I gotta get back.
That would be interesting to see if it would work because, I've never ventured out too much further than New Hampshire or Massachusetts, unfortunately, for these sort of things. And you've done 2 trips now where you've actually performed comedy far from home.
Yeah.
Portland, Oregon, is that right?
Right, Portland, Oregon.
And,
that was, it wasn't as I Ubered all over the place. I probably did 4 or 5 mics over 2 days.
Nice.
So that was like getting a car and going to a mic and Uber to another mic and Uber to another mic.
But I got to wonder, do you think if you had planned in advance, if you had taken somebody's advice to email weeks in advance to get spots and so on and so forth, that your experience would have been a little bit different, or do you think that's just how it goes? And from what you saw,
I think it would have been a little bit different. Well, I suppose I would have gotten on more mics, yes.
Yeah.
But by the time that Thursday morning hit, I was just like, I'm okay. I don't need to find another mic tonight.
I did 3 spots.
I did 3. I got pictures of every one.
Yeah.
I got a couple of videos.
Yeah.
I could say I did this.
Yeah.
I'm 48. I'm tired.
I'm tired.
Ann-Marie was trying to get me to bring back beer. I'm just visiting a whole bunch of breweries, and I couldn't find a beer for her. And I just want to sit and maybe just have a beer, watch some Netflix or something like that.
Yeah,
just hang out.
It's grueling to be a road comic.
Yeah, well, it's grueling just to be in that town. I was thinking. I feel a little bit ashamed to say this, but I was like, I'm not sure I would have done comedy if I would have stayed in Chicago.
Right, sure.
Because maybe if I had started it in my 20s instead of my 40s, it'd be different.
Yeah.
But starting there, if I'd been in Chicago at 44 or 45 when I started comedy here, I'm not sure I would have continued with it.
You would have tried it a couple times, been like, "That's enough of that."
I'm like, I got a big laugh, but what? I gotta drive where for how long? And for 3 minutes. I'm like, ugh.
It's not really worth it.
Well, I think maybe what I would have done was be one of those regulars
at one spot that's near home.
One spot near my home, and then occasionally venture out and be like, oh, hey, remember me? I'm the guy from a mile away.
Right. Which took me 45 minutes to get here.
Yeah, my walker's in the shop.
What resource did you use to find these different mics and such?
Oh, I went on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then again, Ann-Marie got me in touch with a Chicago comic, Maurice Robinson. I think he's a pharmacist, actually.
In a comic, right?
Yeah, in a comic, yeah. And so he recommended a Facebook group or 2, and then one of those groups had a Google Doc of all the open mics in the area.
How many were there?
Well, there was one every day of the week.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, given in the course of a week, there's probably 70. I don't know, something crazy.
Wow. So if somebody's listening and they want the opportunity to go do comedy on a daily basis, the Chicago area is definitely a place to go do that.
Oh, sure, yeah, absolutely. So I sort of mapped out with my cousin who's still in Chicago.
Yeah.
I showed him the list. I'm like, here's where all the lists are.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't go there. Don't go there. That's dangerous. That's like the Wild Wild West. There was a shootout there. I'm like, okay, thanks. Where should I go? Go here. Go here. Go. This one's fine. That one's fine.
Yeah.
Wow. So I mapped out that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I kind of had thoughts about the Thursday and maybe the Friday, but I knew I had plans with high schoolers for the Friday, so I thought maybe I was going to do
high school friends, not high schoolers.
Oh yeah.
Just want to clarify that.
Yeah, high school friends on that Friday, and I thought, well, all right, let me just map out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then definitely I felt that was enough.
Do you think you could have done more than one mic per night, or was each one so involved that
I could have? Yes, yeah, certainly the Laugh Factory one because the show wasn't slated to start until 9. Didn't actually start until 9:30. Yeah, I didn't go on until maybe 10:30. Yeah. So what Maurice and other people were telling me was like, you go to a mic, you sign up, and then you hop in a car, or you go to the next mic and you sign up. Yeah. And then you figure out, okay, which one am I going to hit first, and then you like do a little circuit. Yep. You know, sign up, and then you go stage time, going around the circle again. If you're dedicated, I guess that's what you do.
That sounds like an absolute blast.
Yeah, for a fucking Monday night.
For Monday night.
But you get some lot of fucking reps in. You get reps
real quick.
Yeah, for sure. Like I like if I were 22 and in Chicago and doing like 4 mics every Monday night. I mean that every 3 days a week doing 4 mics a night. That's a lot of experience, and you get really fucking good at comedy. Yeah.
Unless you suck at it. But if you're good and you're writing and you're prolific with your writing and your editing and you're trying different stuff, you can dig down on a joke real quick. Because we can do 4 mics here in the best of times over the course of a week if we're really lucky.
Yeah. I mean, we got our own mic. There's like 2 or 3 mics in the Portland area.
But you got to get on a show. You got to get on a couple shows. You can do a couple of mics, but you got to get on a couple shows in order to do 4 or 5 sets in a week. Yeah. In the state of Maine.
Right.
And possibly even you throw New Hampshire and Vermont and Massachusetts in there too. Like, I mean, I guess if you live in Boston, you could probably do more.
Yeah.
But a place like New York City or Chicago, LA, these big city areas there's a lot of comedy going on. I mean, if you really want it, that's where you got to be.
It's there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's very interesting. Would you enjoy a road trip with us, with the local comics and whatnot, and try to do a bunch of shows?
We rent an RV.
Yeah.
We call it the River Comics Mobile, like that.
And we just go to a place like that. Maybe not something as dangerous as Chicago. A fucking shootout at a comedy club. How bad was it?
Yes, I really was. There were some times where I was scared in Chicago, and my mom was like, she's like super protective of me.
Yeah.
And like,
you're a baby.
Yeah, I'm her baby. And she was like, it was like some weird things that I haven't heard since like high school, like don't put your drink down, that sort of thing, or watch where you're
walking. You're gonna get date raped?
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know. She's like, be careful. She's like super be careful. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of being careful, I almost got exposed to somebody who might be was an anti-vaxxer. That was cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was exciting. So I thought to splurge and get myself. I hadn't shaved before I went out there, so I was going to get my head shaved. So I'm going to go and find somebody to actually shave my head and trim up my beard for me.
Yeah.
Because I've never had that done. Oh, actually, I had it done one time.
Yeah.
And it was awful because she didn't know what she was doing. She used like a Bic, and it took like 45 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
It was awful.
How bloody were you?
I wasn't bloody, but I was a little mad afterwards.
I bet.
So my cousin sent me someplace, and I went there, and so he's like, he's got me all lathered up. He's got the old school lather thing, like you push it down, and it's like heated lather, and he's putting it on, and like his barber buddy next to him is like, oh, you got one of those things? He's like, yeah, man, this is cool. I got this from my uncle. Blah blah blah. He's lathering me up. Yeah. I got my mask off because whatever, and he's lining me up. He's putting like a little ink wax pen or something like that to draw the lines on my cheeks.
Man, yeah.
He's drawing lines down under my chin. He shaved my head with an actual razor.
A straight razor?
An actual straight razor.
That's awesome.
It was fantastic. I was like, I wish somebody took a picture of this. I feel like this is like really cool. He's shaving everything. And then at one point, like there's something on the news about COVID, and he says something like, man, people should just fucking talk to their doctor. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. Right, just go to talk to your doctor. Like, if your doctor says, get the vaccine, you should get the vaccine. I'm like, chances are your doctor's going to say, get the vaccine. Yeah. Chances are. Yeah. And then he's like, right, that's the way that people should do it. But for me, man, I don't trust it. And he's got a razor in his hand next to my neck. He's like shaving things.
He's right in your face.
He's right in my face. He's got a mask on, but like, oh my God. He's like, I am not going to confront this guy because not that he's going to, kill me.
Sure.
But he's going to fuck up my lines.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to have half a beard on one side. My mustache is going to be all missing. I'm going to be like, look like Hitler at the reunion.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, man. So I just bite my tongue and I'm like, okay. Yeah. He's like, I don't know what's in it. I don't trust what's in it. I'm like, oh my God, no.
Does he know what's in the Barbasol that he just put on your fucking head? Guaranteed, he does not know the ingredients of that.
Guaranteed, he does not know. But hell of a good job on my beard. It was
regardless of anything else.
Regardless of anything else, it was the first time I ever had anyone shave my head and my beard, and I looked in the mirror. I was like, whoa, really?
Yeah.
That's what it's like when a professional does it.
Yeah.
I've been doing this to myself for 25 years. I suck at it. I'm awful at it.
I had my haircut recently, just trimmed a little bit, and they did the beard as well. And the guy, he was very nice, and he actually taught me a couple tricks about trimming the beard and such, like pulling the cheek up so you can get a straight line and this and that. It was informative and nice to be pampered a little bit, but it was a dude, so just didn't feel comfortable. I won't say the name of the place. That's a chauvinistic thing to say, Nick.
Yes, it is, Nick. Do you have a pretty girl that can do this instead?
Yeah.
No.
I am an old man. All right, we just lost a listener.
Awful.
Damn it. I was at a barbershop one time a few years ago, and the guy had a bunch of hats around.
Just in case.
And I was thinking to myself,
we'll cover that up. Here you go. You want a hat, man?
If you need hats, at a barbershop, maybe you're not as good a barber as you think you are.
Here, man, you want a hat just in case? Here, I got a chin strap for that hat just to make sure it doesn't fall off.
We don't need anyone to see that. Don't tell him where you went. Roy. Oh man, well that sounds like a really great trip. I'm glad we had a chance to document.
It was
trip.
fun.
I hope there's more to come. I would love to, take this on the road and for us to go do the same sort of thing. Specifically, not to go back and do class reunion, but to go on a trip and do comedy.
Yeah, I guarantee I'll remember your name when we get there.
That would be great.
Yes,
I really do appreciate that. So. Well, thanks for listening, guys. That was Leonard's trip on the Comedy Think Tank.
Leonard's trip.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to become a full episode or not, but...
maybe we'll add a whole bunch of, excerpts from the actual reunion. It would have been cool if I had, recorded stuff, wouldn't it?
That would have been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, some dinner.
That would have been great if I had thought ahead.
Yeah.
If I thought ahead and did that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that have been awesome?
We could fake it somehow. Yeah, I don't really know how to end this, but obviously.
Get out there while you're young.
Yeah.
And do comedy. Take a class. Or just go to open mic and.
If you want to try it, now's the time.
Yeah.
Whoever you are, wherever you are.
But even at our open mic, assuming we don't have 15 comics who want to be on, I'll ask audience members, do you want to get on and tell a joke or say something funny for a minute?
Yeah.
Just do it.
It's fun. It's empowering, I think, just to have that microphone in front of you and to be able to talk and have people listen, hopefully listen and perhaps laugh even. I don't know. I'm a big fan of comedy.
Yeah.
in any form. So
Me too. I know all the places to do comedy. I know about all those comedy clubs.
there's 70 comedy open mics during the week in Chicago, folks.
Yes.
That's too many.
It is way too many.
And that's still in a quote unquote pandemic.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Just imagine pre-pandemic.
I had to show my Vax card.
Right, sure.
Yeah.
And we didn't even think about that part.
Mm-hmm. Right, because like presumably it will be even more people.
Yeah,
showing
more people,
up for these.
more mics, more locales. That's crazy.
Yeah. Boy.
If it weren't so dangerous, I'd go.
We're so dangerous. You have the Matrix dodge bullets. But I did have a good time.
Thank you. That's great. I'm happy for you and look forward to the next adventure.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to comedy. Oh, that wasn't loud enough. Yay.
That's good.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. Tell your friends. This is where we try to ad-lib the ending part of the show.
Yeah. Follow Comedy Think Tank wherever you can. This is a short episode, so.
Our website is comedythinktank.com.
Right. And our email address is
comedythinktank@gmail.com.
And we can find us on Instagram at
comedythinktank. You're making me say it each time?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
And Twitter is comedytanked. Tank.
With a KED at the end.
Yes, KED, just to clarify.
And we would love to know from you guys if you have any guests that you want us to interview, so it's not just the two of us talking for 40 minutes, or if you have any suggestions for questions we should ask future guests. And we've been seriously thinking about, getting some merch, as they say, getting some T-shirts and, obviously some other things. So let us know. Let us know. Email us, tweet us, add us, whatever the
kids are doing nowadays.
The kids are doing.
Really appreciate it. Thank you guys very much for listening.
Theme music was written and produced by a minor, Ralph Birgfeld. No comedians were hurt in the production of this podcast. All audio snippets of actual funny punchlines were not written or performed by any of us or our subsidiaries. Rather, they are express written bits of professionals we admire. Let the civil actions be filed. Any opinion heard, actual or implied, is that of the Comedy Think Tank producers and their guests. Any slight, insult, affront, slur, disparaging remark, snub, rebuff, rejection, or spurning, no matter how derogatory, pejorative, or abusive you may feel it is, was not intended, but for comedic, entertaining purposes only. Thanks for listening.
The microphone does feel different in my mouth.
That's what she said? I don't know.
That's dumb.
That's dumb? Okay, I take it back.
Take it back. Strike that.